So in this presentation, I'm going to split this up into two different parts. The first portion that I made in part one talked about PBIS and some of the core values. Now I'm trying to talk, when I go back and do the second session, I'm going to review this slide with a little bit more information and then continue on through the presentation. At the end, I will open up for discussion and questions. So back to this slide where we started, ways teachers can set classroom expectations. We talked about this last time we met, and I have a couple more things to talk about. Number one, where it says to post expectations around the room. It should not only have rules, but it should have expectations. Number two, have students sign an achievement contract, is read through the contract and create it with the students. Number three, give students space. After a misbehavior concerns, check with the student to see what they already know about the situation. Work together to figure out what happened, problem solve, and follow through. Number four, create a written dialogue. One could do this through a journal where both parties write back and forth. Number five, have a positive attitude. Using a growth mindset when discussing misbehavior fosters a love of learning and resilience. Number six, get to know your students. This allows your students to be seen and heard. It makes them feel supported, cared for, and connected. Number seven, remain in charge. Allowing for disruptions breaks down the classroom and learning environment. Remember, you are the teacher and the leader. This helps students learn and follow through classroom expectations. Number eight, for my kindergarten class, this is the biggest one I could have. Be clear. Clearly state what you expect from the start. Keep directions simple and concise. Number nine, cheer your students on. Appeal to their interests. Praise them often and let them know you believe in them. Number 10, allow revisions. Allow students to edit their assignments if it's not up to par. Revising allows for mastery and gives students confidence and control over their outcomes. Differentiated learning the core differentiation is a relationship between the students and the teachers. The teacher's responsibility is connecting content, process, and product. Differentiating content has many components such as what the child knows, concepts being introduced or reviewed, and skills that a child needs to possess in order to learn the concepts at hand. Differentiation with content can be done using videos, readings, recordings, audio, games, activities, etc. A teacher could also use activities based on a child's interest. Differentiation process, right here, allows the students to look back and take in what they've just learned. Process is how students make sense of the content. They need time to reflect on and digest the learning activities before moving on to the next segment of the lesson. It helps them realize that they understand what they don't. Some types of processing activities are think, pair, share, reflective journaling, peer discussions, save the last word, and literature circles. Differentiation product is when teachers allow children to choose from the format they want to learn with. This could be activities that teachers have chosen or ones that they as students come up with. This could also be done with leveled groups or activities where it meets a child's individual learning needs. Products may range in complexity to align a respectful level for each student. Options should be aligned with the learning targets. Multiple intelligences. There are lots of, every child possesses a stronger part of, or one of these multiple intelligences. Every child is stronger at than others, but all of them are possessed by every single person walking this earth. Usually, 80 to 90% of instruction has been verbal, linguistic, and mathematical logical, which makes the other students who are not as strong as in those two areas, that makes them feel disenfranchised. Multiple intelligences are different than intellectual abilities. All children possess each intelligence. Some are just stronger than others. It is important for educators to allow students to learn and practice using all types of intelligences. For more information, go ahead and check out this website. This is a video from Howard Gardner, the founder of Multiple Intelligences. He does a great job of explaining what they are. And when I listened to this video, it made me really think about how I could change my classroom environment and my thinking of how my students work. Every child is special. Every child is designed to learn. It just depends on what they're stronger at. In addition to multiple intelligences, there are different learning styles. Many of us have learned this in college in our basic education classes. There is the kinesthetic, which is when a child enjoys hands-on activities, auditory, where they enjoy listening and talking activities, and visual, they enjoy reading and visual representations of information. This is a pie chart showing what an average classroom would look like with their certain learning styles. So 60% of the students are visual, 25% are kinesthetic, and 15% are auditory. I know for myself personally, a lot of my instructions, my content, a lot of it is auditory. It's definitely more than 15%. So it's made me think I need to cut back on the auditory and maybe try to do maybe a closer to 50% visual, 25% audio, and 25% kinesthetic. Right now my kinesthetic is a lot greater because I teach kindergarten. But all three need to try to be met as much as we possibly can. For more information, I have given some different ways to evaluate how the students are. These are great information and worksheets and like a checklist. One of them is a teacher applied one. One of them is a student quiz if they can fill it out themselves, and it'll tell you and them what kind of learner they are. Now what? This has been a lot of information that I have given you today. And I wanted to give you a little snapshot as to what and how I am going to incorporate these PBIS strategies into my classroom starting from day one. At the beginning of the year, I plan on gathering my students in a circle to come up with our class rules. I will keep the rules simple, easy to remember, and small in number. Through our discussions, collaborations, and agreements, we will then write them down and make an anchor chart with pictures to help them remember the rules. I might even come up with a song and some actions to go along with it as well. At the bottom, they will sign the poster. That way they take accountability and feel valued. I will also go over expectations and procedures explicitly through visual, verbal, and kinesthetic actions. Next, I will model. For the first few weeks, I will model our specific rules, procedures, and expectations first. Then they will model the desired rules. I plan on giving students specific praise and rewards for those who are modeling our rules throughout the day. I want to try to catch them doing well. It could be a sticker, an M&M, a high five, a smile, or a pat on the back. I want them to feel good about making correct behavior decisions. Then I will reinforce. Throughout the days, weeks, and months during the school year, I plan on having check-ins with my students who don't remember how to follow our rules, procedures, and expectations. I will do this by problem-solving discussions, retraining, practicing, and leading by example. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and now I would like to open up the floor for questions and discussions. Please turn to your neighbor and share one thing that you would like to incorporate in your classroom in this following year. Thank you.